Hey witches, welcome back to the channel and another video in the plant series. Well, actually this is going to be part 2 of the mistletoe video. If you've not had a chance to check out part 1, I'll leave the link in the description box below if that's something that you're interested in. If not, that is perfectly fine. But this is, like I said, part 2, and we're going to talk about the things that I forgot to mention in the last video. I knew that I would forget something if I did not have my outline, and I did, but it's okay. We're going to cover it here. I'm going to show you a few charms that I've made, and I'm going to give you 2 different recipes. One is going to be like a herbal blend that you can use for poppets and mojo bags, and then the next recipe is a couples fertility oil that you can incorporate into your workings. So I hope you guys are doing great. I hope that you had a great New Year's celebration, if that's something that you do. If not, I still hope that your 2022, that is so weird to say, but I hope it's been great thus far, even though it is in the very, very beginning. I hope that everything that you are manifesting or intend to manifest for the year of 2022 comes into fruition, and even much more than you anticipated. Alright, so let's just go ahead and jump into this video and go over these correspondences first. Now, I do want to say this is what resonates with me. If it doesn't resonate with you, that is perfectly fine. You can use the correspondence that you associate with mistletoe. Like I said, this is just what resonates with me. This is what I've came up with through working with the plant, studying this plant, and just doing research. So I find that mistletoe has a very masculine energy. He is definitely a solar plant. I feel like mistletoe is ruled by the sun, but I also see this correspondence with Jupiter and Venus, and I also believe that mistletoe is ruled by the element of air and the element of water. So again, these are just what I associate, and it really, really makes sense to me, especially when you start looking at how mistletoe works through the body. Okay, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and show you guys some little charms that I've made. So give me just a second to do that, and then we'll go over the recipes. Now, I'm not going to make these recipes today. I'm just going to give them to you because I like to make the blend whenever when I make the poppet, I'm actually doing the working, and then the oil, it's not one that I use very often, so I have some left from the last time I made it, and I just don't want to make any more because, like I said, I don't use it that frequently. Okay, so I've got 3 charms right here that I'm going to show you, and then I've got just a piece of the wood from mistletoe, so it's like a piece of the branch. And I just wanted to show you this because in the first video, or in part 1, I talked about how you could drill a hole in this and then wear it as a necklace. So I wanted to show you just a little piece, or you could even take a piece like this and wrap it in string or thread and then carry it on you, so it doesn't require a big piece, just a little piece. So I wanted to show you guys that. Now these are for 3 different things, these charms. So here, I'll show you. Let me hold this one up because the first one is like this, and it has a whole bunch of different things in here. This is actually one of mine that I like to keep. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a whole bunch of different things in it with some red thread at the top, triple moon. Okay, so that's one charm. Right, this is a charm to protect. I don't know if you can see that. You know, this is a charm to protect against fire and lightning. And this, I don't know if you can see this design right here. This is 6-petal rosette. I think that's what it's called, 6-petal rosette. But anyway, you could see this, or you can find this carved on the beams of houses, because it's a old, very old charm to protect against lightning and fires. So yeah, that's this one. And then here is another one. And this one was for the home. So now I'm just going to give you those recipes. Now this first one is going to be for like I said earlier, it's a blend that I use for a poppet, but like I said, you can use it for a mojo bag. And in the first video, we talked about an herb blend from A Modern Herbal by Miss Greaves, and we talked about how she likes vervain, valerian, and mistletoe for all types of nervous complaints, because that's one of the things that we were talking about. And so I wanted to give you guys my recipe that I use for pretty much the same thing, nervous complaints, and give you a few like substitutes if you want to make a poppet, but you don't want to use those particular ones. I don't know, maybe you don't like how valerian smells, because valerian is rough. But I love valerian, but it is funky. But anyway, so this, like I said, this is for nervous complaints, and it's great for things like stress, anxiety, nervous exhaustion, so depression, tension, you know, that type of thing. So it is also really good to strengthen the nervous system just overall, you know. So again, you can use that blend that we talked about in the first video from Miss Greaves, the mistletoe, valerian, or vervain, which is excellent, by the way. But the blend that I use, and I really love this blend. I call it Mellow, and I use mistletoe, skullcap, motherwort, oat straw, tulsi, and kava kava. And then I add crystals, because y'all know I always add crystals in my blends. So I do sodalite, amethyst, and lepidolite. And that is my nervous complaint, or anxiety, stress, depression, nervous exhaustion, you know, and just to strengthen the nervous system in general. This is my blend that I use. It's called Mellow. And then I make a poppet, and I stuff the poppet with this blend and add the crystals. So let's move on to the fertility oil. Now, like I said earlier, this is a fertility oil for a couple who is trying to get pregnant. So I've got both masculine and feminine energies incorporated into this blend, and I'll go over them with you just in case you're not familiar, or you're unsure of how or why I'm using this particular herb in this blend. So you would do this for a couple, you know, the working should be for a couple, and then you would incorporate this oil. I love to use figure candles, and I'll add a picture of figure candle that I have here. Anyway, I like to add the oil to figure candles. I like to add it to pictures of my clients. I like to also, I use a blue candle. I don't know if that resonates with you, but any type of healing working that I do, I love to use blue because for as long as I can remember, I associate blue with healing. So I also will anoint that blue candle with this oil. Alright, so the ingredients. Well, first, the carrier oil that I use is pomegranate oil. And then the herbs are, I like to use chaste tree berries because this helps to balance ovulation problems. It also helps when there's low progesterone. I also use mistletoe berries, which represent male fertility. I use maca root, which is a wonderful adaptogen that's going to help you or your client to cope with the stress of, trying to get pregnant, because it is very stressful, but it's also going to help with testosterone levels. Now the next one is cinnamon, and cinnamon really has this yang energy, this masculine energy, so it's very warming. It's going to spice things up and help with that sperm production. All right, the next is ashwagandha, and this is going to represent the female fertility, and it's going to help to regulate and balance those reproductive hormones and help to reduce those stress levels that are again associated with trying to get pregnant. It's very stressful on a woman, so this is going to help to reduce that overall stress within the body. All right, next we're going to add black cohosh, which helps to induce the ovulation, especially if you're doing this blend for you or if you're doing it for your client, especially if you or the client has PCOS. And a lot of infertility issues are related to PCOS. Now, not all, I'm not saying every single person that has infertility issues has PCOS, but a lot of women will have PCOS. So black cohosh is going to help to induce that, ovulation. And also it will help you to be able to keep track, of it better then. So if you're unsure of what PCOS is, that's polycystic ovarian syndrome. All right, so the next ingredient is red clover, and I add red clover to the blend because it is so nourishing. It's loaded with vitamins and minerals. So we want that to support, we want to support the woman, to support the womb, to support the body. It's excellent to purify the blood, which is, again, it's needed when you're trying to get pregnant. It's going to increase circulation to the sex organs, and it's also going to help with cervical mucus. Now, if the woman's fallopian tubes are blocked, then this will help to open them, to help unblock it. And red clover is just really good for just unexplained fertility issues. So that's why I add red clover. The next add is red raspberry leaf, and I add it to help strengthen the uterine lining. I add stinging nettle, and I know this might sound odd, but stinging nettle is very nourishing, so it's going to nourish and tone the uterus. It's also going to detox the body, which will in turn help to prepare the body to carry that precious little baby. And also, y'all know, if you've been with me for a while, then you know stinging nettle is one of my allies. Stinging nettle is very protective. So this nettle is going to protect the mother, the father, and this wee one, this little baby. that's all of the herbs that we're going to add. So that's 9 different herbs that we're going to add. Then we're going to add fig, because fig for a man will represent that increased sperm, and for women it's going to help regulate the cycles. It's also going to help to regulate hormone imbalances. So by having these regular cycles, then it'll be a lot easier to track that ovulation. And y'all know that figs just represent fertility in witchcraft. So that is why, we add it, because figs, are great for both, masculine and feminine aspect of this union of coming together to create this precious little baby. Okay, so then I also add crystals, and the crystals that I use is moonstone, aquamarine, carnelian, unakite, mookite, and rose quartz. So again, you can change any of these that you don't associate with or resonate with. Keep what you want. Same thing with the crystals. This is just the blend that I use. I've had great success with this blend. Each ingredient has a specific, purpose. I've selected them for a reason. So I hope that you enjoy this recipe, and as well as the herbal blend for the poppet, the mellow herbal blend. If you have any questions, make sure to comment them down below. Until next time, I hope that you fly high, witches. Peace, homies.